back to the Diabetic Diet Show. Today's show is Pork Roast BBQ Veggies number 252 with roasted vegetables and maple mustard sauce. We're starting out with a pork roast, 6 ounces of carrots, 3 ounces of radishes, golden potatoes, about 3/4 of a pound. I just grabbed a handful out of the bag. A bunch of rosemary, tablespoon of creamy mustard, your choice. You can use a honey Dijon mustard, or you can use a spicy brown mustard. I'm doing spicy brown today. Next, you will need salt and pepper, maple syrup, scallions, and a knife. I'm going to use a mandolin to cut through a lot of this to speed things up. And let's get started. I'm starting out with aluminum foil on my cookie sheet. I have my oven preheating to 450 degrees. My plan is to cut things up just to knock the ends off, things like the radishes, and the carrots. I've already washed everything. Carrots, I'm going to cut from this end, nice and careful, just like that. Okay, with a cheese grater, I'm going to shortcut this stuff. So just like this, could be a little messy. But this is quick. I'm looking to eat. I'm hungry. So nice and quick this is. Really makes short work out of carrots, don't it? If you wanted, you could do this. You could peel these. Just depends if it looks kind of bad. I don't particularly think these are overly bad. And a lot of the beta carotene for carrots is in the outside. Just turn it. Scrape it one way, turn it the other. Whatever you're scraping on this usually has a little bit of moisture in it, and it kind of lubricates it for the scrape. If you find what you're scraping is a little dry, you can just put a little bit of olive oil on here, or you can spray it with like cooking oil like Pam, something like that. There we go. Go. Now, radishes. was just turning that as I was cutting it. Just making chevrons. Here I'm just making pieces. The trick is to cut things a little thicker. If you cut them thicker, it's easier to cut. One more. There we go. Now, let's do something with these things. That was not a technical term, by the way. That was called, it's the end of the day and I'm a little tired and I want to eat. You know, after you work all day, you just want to eat and have a good, healthy meal. I don't like eating junk food. I did that early on and I put on a bunch of weight, and then I spent a bunch of time and effort trying to lose the weight. So now my goal is to try to eat right. Okay, so I cut those just like that. Nice and slow. I'm not doing the claw finger because I have to hold everything. This one, I'll split this. There we go. Potatoes. For the potatoes, we're going to use the mandolin. Push it down like that. Get it on here and get it going. I don't remember what I paid for this mandolin, but I'll tell you, it's worth every penny. See how fast it does these potatoes? Nobody's cutting potatoes that fast. And accurate, they're all exactly correct. One of the things I'm doing is I'm looking for any bad spots on these. If I see any bad spots, I'm putting the bad spot up so that when I go to pitch it later, I'm pitching the part that had a bad spot. And I'm using this to move it away from the blade. So here's a bad spot, so I'll put that up. Sticks in there with the nails. There you go, and then the bad spot goes in the trash. Just like that. Look at those. And I got it all in one fell swoop. I do believe that is my mother's technical term, if I remember correctly. I used to sit right on the edge and watch my mom cook. I kind of grew up in an Italian family where it's like, is there anything I can do to help you, Mom? Yeah, stay out of the kitchen. But I was watching. I was watching and I was talking to her while we were doing it. Now, salt and pepper. Little extra salt goes on the potatoes. Potatoes, you always salt a little heavy. Now, these need to go in the oven with the ham and the pork. Here is the pork. I cooked it up the other day so that it'll be ready. Here's the ham. This is a honey baked ham, so it's pre-cooked. However, it does need to be heated, so that's why I have the oven at 450. I'm going to open this up just so that the heat gets in between here. It'll heat these a little better than if it's together. Kind of sticks together. But you know, ham is pre-cooked anyway. It's cooked when you got it. So, makes for a faster meal. Okay, and then we do have to have pineapples, so I'm going to get some pineapples because I think it's a rule whenever you have ham, you have to have pineapples. So I'll pull those out in a minute. Now, I need to put a little oil on stuff, especially the pork. Need to lube that up. A little bit on the ham and on these veggies. I love olive oil, and I saw a doctor on the internet. I was reading his article. He says oil is real good for you. You should be able to drink it every single day. I've seen it recommended on diets, so I believe them. Lastly, I have some garlic sea salt because I don't have any garlic in this, which is unusual for me. And I have some parsley flakes. There we go. Now, let's throw this in the oven. So here's the mixing bowls that I have. So you have a small one for if you're just doing ingredients, but I'm going to take all the vegetables and put them in. So I probably don't want a medium. I probably don't want a cake mix. I probably want one of the bigger ones, one of the deeper ones. So this is what we use. And we need a whisk to mix that all up. So here we go. I have the mustard there. Here's olive oil. So let's go ahead and put some olive oil in here. I'm doing, I think I did about 4 turns because that was the end of the bottle. Fortunately, I get my olive oil from my sister. She's my favorite sister. And I just get more olive oil from her. You know, the more olive oil I use, the more olive oil they keep making. Lots of olives on the trees. And this year the farmers have had a problem because they can't get the crops from the fields into the processing plants. So there's really a lot of olive oils available. Maple syrup. That was 2 squeezes. For those of you at home that are keeping score, this is what it looks like. Stir one way, stir the other way. Doesn't look like a lot, but you don't really need a lot. And the reason this is round here is so if there's any ingredients, you can scoop it out. Otherwise, you could use a square bucket. That's why a mixing bowl has the ovals here like it does. Okay, it's thick. Now I know it's done. So that's it until the timer beeps. Well, the timer has just beeped and I'm about ready to go get the stuff out of the stove and show you what it looks like. Really the only thing I'm going to do is put the vegetables in with the mix and just start to serve up. Make sure you have some good heavy gloves. Remember that pan's going to be 450 degrees. Wowie zowie, is that hot? Look at that. That is pretty darn exciting. I'm going to leave one glove on. And I'm going to grab a fancy plate scoop here. Let's get rid of the sprig. Thank you for your service, Mr. Sprig. We will no longer need you anymore. Now that sprig will go to the landfill. Looks like these are loose, so I think I'm going to be okay with these. So let's see how I'm going to do this, because this is a real handful here. Let's bring this over a little closer, just like this. That's why I'm using this scoop that I am. You see, you can go in straight to things like this. You don't have to be at an angle. Sometimes I like things at an angle, and sometimes you need them straight in. That's why I like when you do hamburgers, you use a straight in spatula rather than one at an angle. There we go, just like that. Okay, wow. Just going to give this a mix. Mix it all up. And then I have to remember to pull the pineapple can off the shelf. I was supposed to do that during the break and just remembered. So we're going to have pineapple with this. And I'm also going to have, for dessert, diabetic jello. So you can find that at your local grocery store. So pork roast needs to rest a little bit, but I have the ham ready to go. I need to cut this in half because there's two of us. It's just a small little pork roast. So I'll go ahead and get that cut in half. There we go. All of the Google colors for the cutting board. And a knife. There we go. Take this pork roast out here. Just like this. So I actually cut part of this off the other day and I ate part of it. So this is just, I'm using part of it for this meal and I used part of it for the other meal. And now, let's scoop some of these out to the plate, just like this. That is going to be delicious. I can't wait to have this. That's the meal. Thanks for watching. Don't forget in the lower right hand corner is a subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button. I'm on a drive to get my first 1,000 subscribers. And also there's a bell button next to my name, so you'll get notified when I drop a new video. And the instructions and the measurements on all this are in the show notes on YouTube, also at my website, which is jamestdds.blogspot.com. That's the show. Thanks for watching. Goodbye for now.